This week's Torah portion, Korah, comes in the middle of the book of Numbers, and it recounts for us a famous rebellion against Moses and Moses' leadership. Korah and a number of the other Israelites were perhaps tired of being in the desert, tired of doing what Moses tells them to do, and decided to rebel against him. And they try to rile all the people up and rise up against Moses. Well, we can imagine how it ended. It didn't end well for Korah. In the end, the ground swallows him up after a number of interactions between he and Moses, and then God gets involved as well. But of course, it doesn't end there. The rabbis remember this story and use it in a number of different ways to teach us that we should be kind to each other, that we should be nice to each other. It says in the Talmud that there are many arguments that are for the sake of heaven. Every argument between Hillel and Shammai is for the sake of heaven. But it says arguments not for the sake of heaven are Korach's arguments. In other words, Korach gets recorded in the book, but not for the sake of heaven. And finally it says, the rabbis, they say that Korach acted out against peace, and that when you act out against peace, you act out against God. Perhaps this is a story that falls in our cycle to remind us each summer that we should be nice to each other. So be nice, be kind, and think of Korach as not an example of how to interact with others.